Chapter 7. Dink plunged down the bank toward the van, tripping and falling every few feet. He leaped over the smoldering fire like an Olympic hurdler. He ripped the van doors open. Guys, wake up, he yelled inside. The lumps under the blankets moved. We have to get out of here. They're coming to get us. I was dreaming about cheeseburgers, Josh said. Dream later, Dink said. Then he told them about seeing Joe Payne and some guy a few minutes earlier. She did take Natasha with her, but your dog chewed the rope, Casey. He left out the part about coyotes prowling in the woods. Natasha got away? Yeah, but now they want you. They're going to lock you in some shack and ask the president for $2 million. We have to hide. They're coming back pretty soon. Hide where? I don't know. Anywhere in the woods. Then after they bury the van, we can sneak back and dig our way into it. I have a better idea. Let them put me in that shack. You four will get away and you can tell the president where I am. No way. We stick together. Josh is right. These people sound desperate. If we stay together, it's 5 against 2. We're not leaving you, Dink told her. Casey was outvoted. No way were her friends going to let her be stuck in a cold shack while they went home to hot chocolate and cookies. He said he's bringing his plow. When we hear it coming, we'll slip into the woods, bring the blankets. But won't they just follow our footsteps in the snow and come after us? Not if we trick them. Let's all go out and make a lot of tracks going in 5 different directions. Really trample the snow up all around the van. They won't know which way we went. The kids stomped all over the snow, making it impossible for anyone to see a trail. Pick up branches for the fire, Josh told everyone. They came back to the fire and threw on whatever branches they had found. Ruth Rose had stuffed her pockets with pine cones. They made a crackle as new flames shot up. The moonlight made the snow sparkle around them. I think they're coming. Listen. They heard a chug chug. They all looked toward the road. I see the plow's lights. Let's go and stay together. Dink led the others into the trees, all dragging their blankets. Soon they were hidden in shadows. Dink felt sure that Joe and the man she had called Ace wouldn't be able to follow them. The kids moved as quietly as possible. Dink pointed toward a giant pine tree. The lowest branches of the tree were half buried in snow. Under there, Dink whispered. He got down on his knees and forced himself between branches until he saw the tree's broad trunk. It was like being inside a hut. Dink had gotten sap all over his jacket and gloves. He tried getting rid of the stickiness by wiping it with snow. The 5 kids crouched and waited. They were able to see the plow's lights and hear the engine. Dink tried, but he couldn't see Joe Payne or Ace. The engine noises stopped. Minutes passed. Dink thought he heard shouting. Then the engine roared to life again. They all heard snow being moved and small trees snapping as they were crushed beneath the tires. He's burying the van, Josh whispered in Dink's ear. In less than 5 minutes, the van had disappeared. The truck with the plow on the front made a clumsy turn and lumbered back up onto the road. The kids waited. When several minutes had passed, they crept out from beneath the pine branches. Did they try to kill us by burying the van? Casey asked. No, they must have looked for us in the van and found it empty. They must think we ran away. What will they do now? They don't have Natasha anymore, and they don't have Casey either. I don't know. If they're smart, they'll disappear. Remember, we know their names and what Joe Payne looks like. And I saw Ace, too. Do you really want us to dig a tunnel into the van? Dink checked his watch. The moon made it easy to see in the dark. I think that's the safest place for now. It's almost 11:30. Tomorrow we can walk into town. I heard Ace say there's one a few miles down the road. In which direction? The road goes both ways. So which way do we walk? I don't know. But what about Natasha? What if she comes back and we're not here? The other 4 stared at Casey. Dink thought they'd never see the dog again, but he wouldn't say so. You're right, Casey. We wait for Natasha. Let's get busy digging. What do we use? Our hands? Yeah, and break off some tree branches, Dink said. Armed with broken branches, the kids approached the mound. Dead leaves, stones, and small trees were embedded in the snow. If Dink hadn't known better, he would have thought he was standing next to a huge snow-covered boulder. How do we know where to dig? I mean, where are the van's rear doors? On this end, Dink said. Ace didn't move the van. He just covered it. The 5 kids began picking at the mound with their branches. They soon discovered that chunks of ice were beneath the surface. This made their work even harder than they thought it would be. When they came across sticks and branches, they tossed them into the fire, now nearly out again. After 15 minutes of hacking away at snow and ice, They had only managed to remove 2 feet of the difficult snow. We need shovels, Josh said. You're right. Why don't you send a text message to your local hardware store and order a few for us? Okay, give me your cell phone. I'd give $1 million for a cell phone, Dink muttered. Keep digging. A half hour passed. They had created a cave. All 5 were in the cave, digging on their hands and knees. Guys, I think we hit the van. They all began clawing wildly at the snow and ice with their hands like 5 dogs digging in the sand. You're right, it's the rear bumper. Suddenly, they heard the roar of engines. A strong beam of light lit their snow cave. When they turned, the light blinded them. Dink backed out and stood up. He put up a hand to keep the bright lights from his eyes. He saw 2 snowmobiles parked next to the weakly burning fire. Dink swallowed. He felt his stomach lurch into a knot. A man sat on one of the snowmobiles. The other rider looked like a woman. Ace and Joe, they'd come back. Run, Dink screamed.